is a parasitic nematode worm responsible for trichinosis, a potentially severe disease transmitted through consumption of raw or uncooked meat containing encysted larvae of the parasite. The larvae migrate to various tissues, including muscle tissue. Symptoms of trichinosis can range from mild gastrointestinal discomfort to more severe manifestations such as fever, muscle pain, swelling, and potentially life-threatening if these complications spread through our vital organs. Countries with tropical and subtropical climates tend to have a higher prevalence of parasitic infections due to poor sanitation, lack of access to clean water. Specific regions with high incidence of parasitic infections include parts of Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, and certain Pacific islands, like the countries of Nigeria, India, Brazil, and also the Philippines, especially those people who living in the squatter areas. Frequently reported cases, parasitic diseases such as malaria, schistosomiasis, soil-transmitted, and helminth infections. Or stays. Trichinella spiralis primarily resides in the muscle tissues of its host organisms. After ingestion, the larvae of Trichinella spiralis migrate from the intestines to various muscles throughout the host body. Adult worms of Trichinella spiralis are slender, thread-like parasites typically found within the small intestines of their host organisms, which measure between 1.5 to 4 millimeters in length. The larvae, Trichinella spiralis, are smaller than adult worms, measuring 0.1 to 0.2 millimeters. The parasite responsible for trichinellosis exhibits a specialized morphology tailored to its parasitic lifestyle. Trichinella spiralis morphology reflects its adaptation to penetrating host cells, ensuring survival, reproduction, transmission within its host. With the measures of 1.5 to 4 millimeters in length, with females larger than the males. First is ingestion of infective larvae. Next is a larval encysement. Next is maturation in muscle tissues. Next is invasion of muscle cells by newborn larvae. Next is consumption by new host. Next is penetration of intestinal wall. Next is migration to muscle tissues. This complex life cycle demonstrates the ability of Trichinella spiralis to survive and perpetuate within multiple hosts, highlighting the importance of proper cooking techniques to prevent human infections. Pathogenesis and clinical features. Trichinella spiralis, also known as trichinellosis or trichinosis, elicits a spectrum of pathogenic and clinical features affected individuals. Larvae penetrating the intestinal wall that insisting an inflammatory response that manifests as abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting, and migrate via the bloodstream to muscle tissues throughout the body. It also affects the central nervous system that can lead to neurological complications like meningitis, encephalitis, seizures, and paralysis. Community of Trichinella spiralis. refers to the body's ability to defend against and resist infection by this parasite, typically through the activation of the immune system, include both innate and adaptive response. T helper cells, these lymphocytes play a crucial role in orchestrating the immune response against Trichinella spiralis. T regulatory cells, TREGs, are a subset of T lymphocytes that help regulate the immune response to prevent excessive inflammation and tissue damage. Natural killer cells are innate lymphocytes that contributes to the body early defense of Trichinella spiralis. Treatment of Trichinella spiralis infection typically involves antihelminthic medications such as albendazole and mebendazole to kill the parasite and alleviate symptoms in severe cases or when complications arise. First is cooking meat thoroughly. Next is avoiding raw or uncooked meat. Next is proper hygiene and food handling. Next is inspection and regulation. Next is educating at-risk population by implementing this to prevent measure and promoting awareness. The risk of Trichinella spiralis can be significantly reduced, contributing to public health and safety. We have to bear in our minds that prevention is better than cure. Stay safe. God bless.